First Republic Bank was the second largest bank failure in US history, and now that it was acquired by JP Morgan and Chase, many people think that it's over. The worst has already happened, that you could sit back and relax. But I'm sorry to tell you, things aren't looking too good for the banking sector, which means the economy could suffer dramatically. So today's video, I want to talk about what's going on with the banking crisis, why it is looking like it is only going to get worse from here, and things you need to know with the crypto market as well, because there's a few key things going on there that I think you'll actually be pretty excited about. So when you're looking at First Republic Bank, it was the second largest bank failure in US history and the biggest US bank failure since 2008. Ultimately, what happened is that JP Morgan and Chase acquired First Republic's deposits and the entire bank and a substantial majority of the assets. Ultimately, what is going to happen is that JP Morgan and Chase is going to benefit tremendously from this acquisition. They're getting $92 billion in deposits in the deal. They're going to get ultimately $500 million of profit annually from this deal, and they have benefited tremendously from everything that has gone on with the banking collapse over the last few months. So many people are saying, well, now that it's over, now that this bank has been acquired, you don't have to worry. But that's not really the case. We've seen that First Republic Bank now has been officially delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, and we've seen that many other U.S. regional bank stocks have started to collapse. We've seen that PacWest was down 26%, Western Alliance was down 20%, Metropolitan Bank was down 18%, Home Street minus 17%, and the list goes on. And many people are starting to get worried because First Republic Bank was by no means a small regional bank. It was a little bit larger in its size, but now we're starting to see all these other regional banks continually fall and continually start to see their stock prices plummet as people are rushing out and withdrawing millions of dollars, even billions of dollars from these banks. What we're seeing now and why it is going to get worse from here is that JP Morgan and Chase ultimately benefited tremendously from this First Republic Bank acquisition. What we're seeing happen is that 100 years ago, there were so many more regional banks in the U.S. As time continues to go on and every major crisis happens, we see all these regional banks die off, acquired by these big banks, and that is ultimately what's happening. And it's being accelerated by technology because everyone is now withdrawing their funds at accelerated paces from their accounts, and they're moving them over to JP Morgan, to Morgan Stanley, to all these big investment accounts and big banks, and that's exactly what we're seeing happen. Couple this with the fact that we're seeing the Federal Reserve is planning on raising rates yet again in the May meeting and holding them higher for an extended period of time. That is going to be extremely difficult for smaller banks. What ultimately happens when interest rates are high is that many lenders face losses on their old securities and loans that pay relatively low interest rates compared to new securities in this higher rate world we're seeing. And when that happens, it hurts the smaller banks the most. And that's exactly what we're seeing happen. We're seeing stock prices of regional banks fall. We're seeing people withdraw billions of dollars from these small banks, moving them over to big banks, and couple this with the fact that interest rates are going to remain elevated for an extended period of time, if not get even higher. That is only going to hurt regional banks in the short term, and is why you have to be very careful if you're in any regional bank stocks, if you have your money in regional banks. And while me saying this is just accelerating the process, it's ultimately what's happening. You've seen it with First Republic, you've seen it with Silicon Valley Bank, you're seeing it with all these regional bank stocks that are collapsing. It's happening as we speak. So keep an eye out on that and be very careful. When you're looking at the crypto market, there's a lot of good that's happening from this. First thing I want to talk about is what's been going on with Venom Foundation, because over the last few months, we've been talking about Venom Foundation, and they have officially made their testnet live, which is a huge announcement. This has been in the works for months now, and they said that they've already started to see pretty significant traffic as a result of this. They said that they've seen a lot of new people on board. They've started to make more progress and improvements, and they've been talking about this on their Twitter. So as a result of this, they are having a $225,000 prize pool in their up-and-coming hackathon. They've seen a lot of success, a lot of new developers, a lot of new projects building on the blockchain. So between May 8th, 2023 and June 10th of 2023, they're going to be having this hackathon where they're going to be giving away $225,000 in prizes. The thing that I just find interesting about this project is it is a layer 0 project like we've talked about in previous videos. I've seen already a number of projects building on it, ranging from all different areas of the crypto and blockchain space. And the cool thing is that people are already starting to engage in it. They said right now we've seen people download the Venom wallet as a Google Chrome browser extension or through the Google Play Store. We've seen that users are starting to claim Testnet Venom tokens, starting to play around with it. And it's something that I think you just need to keep an eye out on over the coming weeks and months, because there is no token yet available for it. But this is the project that I have on my radar for 2023 when they finally do launch their token, because they have a testnet that's live, they have developers building on it, they have this hackathon going on, which is going to attract even more developers. And so if you're like looking for up and coming layer 0 projects in 2023, just make sure you keep this one on your radar. Like I just follow them on Twitter, just stay up to date there. Moving forward, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with Bitcoin and the overall crypto market, because what we've seen is that recently Bitcoin has been trading pretty well. We've seen a lot of positive movement happen in the crypto market ever since everything with the banking collapse. We're seeing people move money into crypto as the whole entire crypto community is rallying behind this idea that all these banks are not safe anymore. You need to have control of your money. You move your money to crypto. What we're seeing actually is a lot of drama with Coinbase. Coinbase has been battling with the SEC and US regulators for a long time. They had said that they wanted to stay in the US, but if regulations weren't promising and there wasn't any progress there, they're going to have to move out. Now we're seeing the first step in this is that Coinbase officially has launched an international perpetual futures exchange, allowing for up to 5x leverage. And we're seeing that this is now an entire new market for Coinbase, where Coinbase is going to allow people to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum derivatives, ultimately futures. This was a huge portion of total cryptocurrency trading volume back in 2022. You can see that perpetual futures accounted for nearly 75% of global crypto trading volume in 2022. So this is going to help Coinbase dramatically. Probably not good for US crypto in terms of regulations, what's happening there, because if Coinbase leaves, there's not going to be much fight against US regulators. But ultimately what we're seeing is that this is good for crypto. We're seeing that Coinbase, one of the biggest players, is moving out of the US. They're expanding their reach. And while it may be bad for crypto in the short term for the US users, it ultimately is just going to help increase competition among big players like Binance and Coinbase and now Bybit. We're going to see all these big players competing even more now that Coinbase has entered this international market. And I think that is ultimately just healthy competition long term. It's something that we'd like to see. When you're talking about altcoins, there's a few exciting things going on there as well. When you're looking at Cardano, Cardano just recently surpassed 65 million transactions at the end of April. This was a major milestone for the Cardano blockchain, and you could see, according to the Cardano Foundation, that now transactions have officially surpassed 65 million. We're seeing native tokens, NFTs, surpass 8 million on the Cardano blockchain. Number of wallets have officially surpassed 4 million, and this is something that you really like to see as a crypto investor, that while everything going on with the banking collapse, everything going on there is causing a lot of fear, we're seeing progress in the crypto space in terms of Coinbase launching new products, expanding overseas. We're seeing that altcoins are continuing to perform well. We're continuing to see a lot of adoption there. And all of this is what you need to be aware of as an investor. You're seeing things going on in the banking world that really aren't looking too good. You're seeing a lot of movement in the crypto space. You have to take advantage of these opportunities.